All right. Well, I had a conversation with my parents. Well, actually, my pops. I haven't actually had this conversation with my mom yet. But I let my dad hear a clip or two from from one of my podcasts. And my parents are real old school, old fashioned, to the point where and they grew up in the church, so they don't like the fact that I like cuss, say nigga a lot. I'm say the B word, say the F. I'm gonna drop some I know while I'm talking, but while I'm saying it right now, I don't want to say it. But it made me just think though, about trying to, I guess, catch a little balance, just not even with the podcast though, with just life though. I get so caught up in trying to focus so hard on certain things, building certain things without thinking about like the other side of it. And I think a lot of people kind of get caught up in that. Like, it's easy for us to have an opinion about something and not consider the other side of that opinion. And where I'm going with this is we're about to speak on Bill Cosby and his release. I haven't had that conversation with y'all since he's been released. And I just started with this. I preface it with this. I was having a conversation with a young lady in my inbox, in my Instagram DMs about it, because I had made a statement, or I went on there and kind of ranted about it one day. And it was right after I had seen the Judge Brown interview. Y'all seen the Judge Joe Brown interview with Lamont? Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so basically, Judge Joe Brown is strictly by the books of law, about a rule of law, and he feels as though, this was a travesty, that the fact that he was even put in prison in the first place, the fact that he was even tried, he felt like the prosecutor should be punished or some so-called repercussions for even pursuing the case, because the reason they were able to pursue the case was from the deposition that he had when he was trying to purchase a media company or start a media company. It was something, and they did a deposition where they asked him about all these
was he trying
rumors.
to CBS? It
was I don't know exactly who it was. CBS is the eye.
Okay. I think he was trying to buy CBS.
So that's when it came to light that he had done some things with women. But I didn't read the entire deposition, but I did read, because it's like 100 and some pages. I'm definitely not going to read that entire thing. But I did read something that highlighted everything that he was talking about. And I think, and let me be careful with this, I think we live in a society today that wants to play victim so bad. Like, everybody wants to be a victim so bad because it gives you so much leverage. And so I think it's easy for us to hear the headlines, Bill Cosby, drugs and women, and automatically assume that means Bill Cosby is drugging women. I believe that if when I see, it's just, I went to Bama, okay? Full transparency. I've seen plenty of people come over there and take, like, women pulling up the spots to take drugs and things happen after that. That's not the same as somebody like slipping something in your drink and drugging. You coming over here to partake in drugs that he got for you.
You're talking college now. Imagine the magnitude of that in Hollywood.
Right. And for sure. So it's just like, when I was just going through a reading the deposition, like I just, or like I said, the highlights, it was just brought out to me that for a while I was like, damn, Bill Cosby, you out here doing this to women. And then I had to realize, like, and I hate to say, man, it's just his word versus theirs, but that's kind of how it has to be. Like, because you should be innocent until you're proven guilty. And I know there's a lot of women bashing me about, well, just because they took the drugs doesn't mean that they wanted to have sex. And I'm like, but at certain, and then this is what Judge Joe Brown was saying that a lot of folks didn't agree with. It was about accountability. He was like, now, I'm not saying it's right for men to use liquor or drugs to try to get women loose enough to have sex, especially if they don't know if the woman wants to have sex with them. I'm not saying that's okay at all, because I think that's lame. I've always thought that was lame. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, these women have to be held in some sort of account to be adults and understand, like, like I decided to do
30
this.
years. You need to say something.
That's a thing too, you know.
Which, I mean, they could have been, scared of him and his
Power,
what he could do. But when I was watching the interviews, like I was saying, like you saying, looking at the opposite side, I was like, wow, like it seems like these girls was down for whatever when they thought they was gonna get this career.
Yeah, when they thought they were gonna get them promised,
and it's like now it was a bad experience.
Not only that, bro, how can you recollect vividly 30 years past an event that took place when you were on Quaaludes 30 years ago?
And this is another thing though too.
Right.
And this is my thing, and I hate to say this, but then too, like, how do you know you were drugged unless you knew you were taking the drugs in the first place? Because I've been some places and I was like, man, I feel like I got drugged last night, and I would never know, like. But I just kind of feel like, like.
Well, I mean, someone was saying they was waking up and they ain't had no panties on and stuff like that. So,
but Quaalude is a drug where you forget the night before.
Right.
Like it's it's like a Xanax bar except stronger.
When women get drunk, bro, they be a different person. Like when they get drunk, they don't be remembering shit. It's like
perfect example. We've had a situation that took place like this one time before.
Ah, yes.
You get what I'm saying though?
But we knew,
for
sure.
Feel what I'm saying though? She got
yeah.
up tweaking about some shit she knowingly fucking did.
Yeah.
It wasn't us that partook in this, but we just know some people that are associated with a situation that's very similar and equivalent.
Right.
Where a woman she didn't go to the police but she was tripping, acting like
she didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
She probably was the one who initiated.
But you got a train ran on you.
Yeah.
And you was only drunk. You wasn't even on no drugs. You feel me? Like, you might could get past one dick. You can't get past multiple dicks in you and not knowing that multiple dicks
not being coherent.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, unless you just dead ass sleep. You gotta be sleeping.
Yeah, it's wild, man. But like I try to tell. Like we had that conversation that time we were talking about your daughters. If like your daughter ever came to you one day and told you somebody did something, you said the first thing you would do is try to get to the bottom of it, not just assume that this boy has done something because that's somebody else's child too. And I just think that's what we need to get. We need to get to a space.
You feel like that.
We need to get to a space where we understand like there are two sides to this, right? And so since there are truly two sides to this, then we need to make sure that all sides are able to have their, you know what I'm saying, points really heard and kind of validated.
Everything is emotionally driven. There's no logic in the matter. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of that is attributed to the lack that women feel of black men protecting black women. But the case is bigger than just black women. You know what I'm saying? Like it's multiple women that was in this situation. But I just feel like women always feel like men don't protect women in the right situations. And because they feel like we skip out on it so often that when it's something this significant where it's like they placing the blame directly on somebody you can't ignore it type shit, that we supposed to just stand behind it and not look at the whole spectrum of what it is, you know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to peep the whole landscape out. We just supposed to take it for, there's a man abusing a woman and we supposed to ride for women. It's like, nah, women lie too. They human too. Women do shit for motives. Women do shit for money. Women do shit for a lot of reasons.
Right.
So it ain't about that right now. Like, if it ain't clear cut, then it's a notion to be raised and an opinion to be gay, like, and it should be respected on either side. I don't feel no type of way about nobody who's against Bill Cosby. I don't feel no type of way about nobody that's supporting Bill Cosby, because at the end of the day, it don't affect your life at all. If you're not a victim of this situation, it shouldn't be so sensitive to you on a matter where you don't know what happened.
Right, because we don't know.
You don't know what happened.
We don't know. We think we can assume we can definitely be presumptuous and say, oh, he did it, but we don't know. And that's my thing. It's like we speak so matter of fact when we speak on things like that, but a lot of times it's not fact at all. It's like you said, it's emotion. You think he did it? Did what though?
I think he was getting them hoes fucked up. He was trying to smash.
But that's
do
not.
you think? Do you think they did? I about to say, do you think were they aware of what was going on? or were they unaware? Do you think he? Because I think that is the.
I mean,
that's the problem.
They probably was like, I'm gonna have one drink.
From the Quaaludes that I done seen, we too old to really know what them hoes look like. Right. But when I seen Wolf on Wall Street, a Quaalude look like a fucking horse pill. You can't put that bitch in a drink. You understand what I'm saying? Man, that's all I'm saying. Like you can't sprinkle that bitch in the drink, stir it up, and not taste the like pill. You know what I'm saying? That bitch look like a horse pill. You gotta pop that. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta pop that, bro. So we not sitting here saying he ain't give a woman a drug and have sex with a woman that was intoxicated or under the influence of the drug that he gave her. But what we is saying is it's a very high possibility that they willingly took that drug and they willingly knew that they were there to party and partake in things that they knew about. Like
especially if they were promised certain things for doing certain things.
Why I think they probably was cool with it and it ain't work out.
Now if he face you,
but okay, so and that was another thing. So that was another thing, and that's why a young lady, and she made me think about it. She was like, but isn't that still sexual assault if I use my position of power to promise you things in exchange for sex, even if you're not drugged? In exchange for sex, am I not abusing?
This is my question.
My power for sex.
But this is my thing. This is my thing. Niggas that are broke make promises for pussy. Just because he broke, that means that it's not a promise that he used for pussy. He's sexually assaulting you. A nigga will tell you he gonna give you the stars in the moon, and as soon as he get that ass, he out. He sold you something.
Right. Niggas sell dreams all the time.
So that's all that Bill Cosby was selling. If that's the case, he sold a dream. Like if he didn't say I'm finna write you a check. If it didn't say nothing like that, like, oh, you could be a big movie star. I see a great future for you. I know a few people.
That's
like
the thing. He was putting them on that.
Okay, but
like, he was on the show, like.
Also, he was able, so they were able to. So they just didn't do their part.
But you get what I'm saying?
They were just like, oh, I don't want to do this no more.
But all I'm saying is, because if that's the case, you gotta crucify every nigga who done ever sold a woman a dream in life, and niggas gonna do that.
But I don't be with that selling dream shit though.
I ain't saying that you is.
Because one thing about me, I want you to know what you getting into before you get into it with me, because you ain't finna talk bad about me later because you felt like I was playing you. And now I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is.
But I wasn't saying that you is. I'm just saying like in general though, niggas do that.
Nah, for sure.
And it's done from the smallest scale to the
bar.
Scale,
yeah, for sure.
Right? It varies, dog.
Even in that song,
so it's a whole lot of niggas.
I give you the sun, the stars. That's what women want to hear, though. That's the problem, though, and that's why niggas do it. I was looking at that Deion Cole special the other day, and he started off when he was talking about how back in the day R&B songs were like, "I give you the sun, the moon, the star, and the mountains. I give you the world." And even more, you know what I'm saying? Just like women love that though. Like they love being told the romanticized or the kind of like fantasy type of And and that's why I feel like men do it, but I still feel like it's lame though, man. I still feel like it's lame. But like I said, I'm not here to, and this is my thing. I'm not here to judge whether because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? If we had it on tape, like R. Kelly, we know. We saw him on tape. Yeah, you feel me? Like, so we can talk bad about R. Kelly because we saw that.
Right.
He's admitted to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just obviously felt they were under some sort of, he thought that they were given to him like as a right, you know what I'm saying, type of deal. You know, because parents been trying to arrange stuff. As long as they get the permission of the parents, it's supposed to be good. So, I mean.
Well, Bill Cosby did admit to doing it though.
Yeah, he admitted to giving women drugs.
He didn't admit to rape.
And giving women drugs sounds giving. That's just like somebody coming to my house and drinking some liquor, and they got real drunk and drove off. And that Judge O'Brien brought this point up too. He was like, up until 25 years ago, it was never the bar's responsibility for how drunk a person got. It was always the responsibility of that individual. Now, if you go to a bar and you get too drunk, a bar can be punished for serving you alcohol after you were supposedly looked, you know what I'm saying, after a certain point. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
at the end of the day, it's a human's choice. Like, that's still personal choice. It's not forced infliction.
On the flip, though, think about it on the flip. Like, let's just say you was finna kick it with some chick. Now, we men, so we don't care. But let's just say she gave you some shrooms or some acid or something. And it's your first time trying it. You out. Next thing you know, you wake up, your clothes off, and you like, I ain't even want, like, but think about it like on
niggas
woman
would
stuff.
niggas would dog you. Niggas would dog you. But if I feel exactly. I told y'all. I don't know if I told you this story. I told somebody this story before. But when I was at Bama one year and I was celebrating a birthday, I got so lit I didn't even make it to 12. And I just know I woke up the next day, no shirt on, just in my drawers in my bed. And I was told that, you know what I'm saying, 2 people helped me get undressed, but I don't know what could have happened, you know what I'm saying, with one. I know one on one had done that because she wouldn't have had to do it like that. But the other one, you know what I'm saying, she could have got it fully conscious. Yeah. But the other one I was told, like, even said that she might have like just played with my shit. You know what I'm saying, while I was out. But I don't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't care too much because I felt because I felt at the end of the day, as long as
sex is different.
As long as she didn't do something that I would have really like just felt real bad about. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I'm different.
It's this chick that just probably just ugly as shit, and you don't even want
to. I can't get mad at her for being ugly as hell. You see what I'm saying? Because if it was a bad, I don't think that's a reason to want to get somebody in trouble. Is because I was like, damn, she ugly. I ain't want her to do it. But if it would have been another girl, I was like, oh yeah, that would have been something I would have been on. Like if her friend would have did, I'd be like, yeah, go crazy.
Well, I remember it not.
Yeah, you feel me? So I think that's a.
But I think it's just different for women because women just it's different with sex. It's kind of like beating somebody up and getting your ass beat. Like
I'm about to say that's, and I tell women this all the time. I can never understand it because I don't get penetrated. So I've never had to understand what it feels to be trespassed upon. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like trespassing if you don't get.
I'm in you.
Yeah, like so like I don't. So I can't tell a woman how to feel about sex. And so I know this shit sounds funny, but like in the Carmichael show, they was like, you need to have a motherfucking like a real verbal yes. Like when you sitting on the airplane, you in the emergency row seating. And they come and ask you all these questions, you can't shake your head and nod your head. You have to actually say yes or no. You like they were saying like that's how clear it needs to be before you have sex. But it's just like a lot of times, like what if what if 2 people are drunk and the man and the woman is drunk? So all right, bet the man and woman drunk and they have sex. Who raped who? Is it the first one that comes up?
So it's with the Bill Cosby shit. I think they
were just
probably both was fucked up.
They both. It ain't never.
It happened, and they ain't get no career.
It's way more malicious when a person is in there sober giving out drugs to take advantage of the people that are on drugs. But when we all in a party environment and we all partaking in the same things and we all are on the same shit, how can I get penalized for being under the same influence?
And they say that was around like the disco era and stuff like that. So you know they going crazy. They going crazy. Yeah, that was really normal at that time. Like
Quaaludes and cocaine were the thing. Like those were the echelon drugs. So it's just like we don't know. We don't know at the end.
So we canceling Bill Cosby or not?
I'm not. I ain't. And I would love for them to put his shows back on television because they hold value.
I was never a Cosby Show fan like that. I was never really a Bill Cosby fan like that because of all of his remarks over the years about our generation. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was that old bitter grandfather. You know, kind of how Dick Gregory got like after he had early onset. You know what I'm saying? Alzheimer's. It was just like he started becoming like I was looking at the documentary yesterday. I was telling you about that earlier, and I was looking at the documentary on Showtime, and they were saying like at once you see Dick Gregory coming, you can't wait to hear what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Young and when he was vibrant or still of right mind all the way. But once he got older, you was just kind of like, damn, like damn, here comes Dick Gregory. Like that's what Chris Rock said. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Bill Cosby had got to that way. I felt like he was just a bitter old man. You know what I'm saying? Just mad about everything that we were doing. And I understand some of his things or some of his gripes against us. And I can understand him saying those things because he actually tried to bag it up in his actual art. Like he actually tried to make sure everything that he portrayed on black people like were positive images. I think Dave Chappelle said like he even had different psychologists and people doing studies to make sure that nothing in his show would be a negative or like would shine a negative light on black people. He was just like Dave Chappelle, like I would have never done that. You know what I'm saying? He was like I would have never done. So I know he would go to the extreme to push that point. So I can kind of give him respect for it, but I still don't rock with it though. You know, I just never. I always knew he wasn't Uncle. I mean, I always knew he wasn't Cliff Huxtable. Like, and that's what we all got to realize now. Like, I don't think Bill Cosby is a rapist. This is me. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying those women are lying. I feel like he might have abused his power to manipulate. And I feel like that's creep shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like real lame shit. But at the same time, like it does make me realize that he's not, Cliff Huxtable out the Cosby Show. Like it definitely showed me like, oh yeah, this nigga ain't like that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you just made me even more like, oh, so I definitely ain't really listening to shit he talking about too now at this point. You know what I'm saying? But we cancel culture crazy. Like it's not okay. For example, like I'm not canceling Tory Lanez. I haven't canceled Tory Lanez. I don't understand why women were so mad at the baby.
Bro. Black folks is the only cancel culture, bro. Elvis ain't get canceled. Mick Jagger ain't get canceled. Like it's a lot of white men who had very young wives and women around them in they heydays. And they was going out with these folks.
Them white people don't have Shade Room and Baller Alert that's going.
Yeah, facts.
They got TMZ, but who cares about TMZ?
But white people don't cancel their folks, and if they gonna cancel them in private. Yeah. They ain't gonna make it a social display of disrespect towards their person. You know.
Pressure is the moment where the fit and unfit encounter their separation. The suitor is one qualified to many distinguishments, but only the crown jewel of his value is reserved for kings. The movement of a life in silence will forever see disappointment from the expectations of being heard. What an irony it is to be an American. But what a beautiful opportunity to resist the grain's offerings. In a world where the popular opinion has never been popular, the voices of belief echoes in the background of disapproval, waiting its chance to rant its thoughts to the ear of the thinker. A ride down perspective drive never hurt nobody, or has it?